crafty friends. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the xTool S1 40 watt laser engraver. xTool was kind enough to send me this machine. However, I am not very familiar with laser engravers or their software, but I'm very excited to see what this machine could do, and I thought maybe some of you would be interested as well. I'll be going through the whole process with you so that we can see how well this machine will be for beginners. I have to say that this machine was packaged very well to ensure that each piece was not damaged during shipping. Not only did it have this very thick styrofoam, it also had some of the parts individually wrapped in bags. It comes with safety instructions as well as a quick start guide, which is very easy to follow to put these pieces together. If you get Air Assist, you do get an Air Assist instructions, and it also comes with this booklet that shows you all the different types of materials that xTool carries and the materials that you can cut on this machine. As far as the parts that come with the machine, we have our 40 watt laser module, and then you have a toolkit that comes with a screwdriver, the distance sensor for the module, the keys. We have an Air Assist, which is an extra item that you can purchase. It doesn't come standard. We also have the exhaust. We have a USB cable to connect to the computer. We have our power cable, and then we also have an airflow hose. So we're going to get everything set up right now. The first thing you'll want to do is remove the blocks that are keeping the guide rail in place during shipment, and this does come with a screwdriver to take these out. You'll also want to remove the stickers and any kind of plastic film that came on the machine. Now you can slide your guide rail forward, remove the packaging material to be able to attach your laser module. It comes with a hose, and then it comes with the power supply that just snap into place. Slide that into the guide rail using the 2 screws provided. Tighten those up with the screwdriver that is also provided to hold your laser module in place, and then snap your distance sensor onto the side. On the back side of the machine, remove the air vent, hold on to the screws so that you can attach your exhaust pipe. It's very important to attach the exhaust pipe because some of the materials you use can create some harmful fumes, and you want to exhaust that out of your window. Each machine comes with a key, so when not in use, you can take this out so no one else can use it. You also want to make sure that your emergency stop button is out. We're then going to connect our power supply, our USB that we're going to connect to our computer. The Air Assist is an extra item that you can purchase. This helps improve the cuts and engravings by blowing away smoke and debris from the laser. They come with 2 filters, and there is one already in your machine. You just want to periodically check that to see if it needs to be changed. You can snap in the airflow hose as well as the power adapter, and then on the back side of the machine we're going to connect the hose, and the Air Assist actually gets its power from the machine itself. Your on and off switch is on the back side of the machine. I can turn this around and run my exhaust pipe out the window. I just cut some foam board that I already had on hand to fit within my window, and then cut a hole so that the pipe could go outside. You also want to make sure that your Air Assist is set to auto when you're using your machine. Another optional item that you can purchase is a honeycomb plate, which sits inside of your machine, and it kind of lets all of the small debris fall down underneath it so it does not disturb any of your cutting or engraving. It just kind of lets those pieces fall down to the bottom. Before we get started on any projects, I want to go through the sample material pack that they sent. They sent 2 slate coasters. These are really, really nice. You also get 2 round metal tags, 2 wooden keychains, a faux leather type material, a sheet of the 3mm basswood, and a sheet of the black acrylic. Now let's head over to xTool Creative Space and see what we can create with this machine. Creative Space is a free software that you can download to your computer. The first time you connect your machine, you need to do that using a USB cord, and you also want to go ahead and see if there are any software updates to make sure you get the latest software version. Because of this particular machine, you are required to take safety training. You'll find that in your notifications at the top right of your screen. You simply just have to watch a video for about 10 minutes and then you can become certified through their safety course. As far as the designs, there are a ton of designs on Creative Space that you can choose from. Some of them you do have to pay for, and you also want to check to see what type of license is involved with the particular design that you pick out to see if you are able to use that only for personal use or if you are allowed to use it for commercial use. For my first project, I wanted to keep it very simple. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on text and type out 1966, and then you can choose the font that you want, and then you can drag it on the corners to adjust the size, or at the top left, you can give it some exact measurements. I'm using one of the wooden keychains that came in the material pack, as well as some of these magnetic clips that will hold the small objects in place to keep them from moving around. Then I'll slide the laser module over top of my material. The top right of my computer screen, I'll click on Auto Measure, and this will make the distance sensor touch the material and then move to the right-hand side of the machine. You'll do this for each project or each different design that you create using the xTool S1. I'm going to select my material, and since the keychain is not in the material list, I'm going to choose 6mm basswood. Then at the top, click on Marking Area. I'm going to choose the rectangle, and the on-screen instructions will tell you how to do this to get your target points. For the rectangle, you want to put your laser beam at the top left corner and press the start button in the front, and then you'll move it down to the bottom right corner and click the start button again. Make sure you go ahead and close your lid. On your computer screen, you should now see an area that's going to show you exactly where to place your design. So this tiny little rectangle is going to show you exactly where your material is. So just drag your design down there and adjust it to make sure that you can get it in the center of your material. Depending on what you want to do with your material, for instance, we are going to be engraving this one. On the right-hand side of the computer, I'm going to click Engrave. Then we can process this. It's going to tell us an estimated time of how long it will take to engrave this image, and we're going to press the start button and the start button on the front of our machine. Because we pre-selected our material of the 6mm basswood, the power, speed, and number of passes are already filled in for you. We recently bought an antique truck, so I want this keychain to be double-sided. Once it's finished with this side, I am going to take the keychain out, flip it over, and I will need to reframe it to make sure that it is in the correct position, and then I can create the design that I want to put on the back side of the keychain. I'm just going to type out F100 using the same fonts, adjust it to fit within my rectangle. Go ahead and process this, and this machine works so fast. It only took a couple of minutes, and the quality is excellent. I did get a little bit of a scorch mark on the front, and I'm thinking maybe if I take some rubbing alcohol I can get that off, but I am highly impressed with how this turned out, and I'm so excited to create my own design. For my next project, I created a cross by going over to the left-hand side of the screen. You can select rectangle, and I just drew 2 rectangles, and then at the top of the screen, you can highlight both of them and then subtract where they overlap. You can also highlight it and create an outline. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with this design, but what I want to do is make this an engrave and a cut. So I want to engrave something on one side of the cross and then have it cut it out, and then I can flip it over and engrave something else on the back side. You can change your layers to different colors so you don't get things confused, and you can also create separate canvases so that you can separate these items. For instance, I said I'm going to do one engraving on one side and another engraving on the other side. You can also add circles and then subtract where they overlap at the top to create like a little hole if you want to make an ornament. There are a lot of helpful YouTube videos online that will go in more detail and show you exactly how to operate Creative Space and create all kinds of designs. The honeycomb plate has a ruler at the bottom, so I used that as a guide as well as a regular ruler to make sure that I was able to flip the crossover and get it lined up perfectly with where it was to begin with so I can get my engraving on the back side. It amazes me how precise this laser is, especially with tiny letters. In Creative Space, you can also import your own images that you design somewhere else like Canva. For instance, this one, I'm going to resize it and then create an outline. Then I could select my outline to cut and my design to engrave. This turned out absolutely gorgeous, and then I could just take a simple magnet from Dollar Tree and super glue this on the back, and now you have a custom one-of-a-kind refrigerator magnet. If you're not really good with creating designs, this next project is my absolute favorite. In Creative Space, you can go to AI Make. Now, some of these, they cost points, so you may have to pay to have AI generate you an image. I typed in Nativity Relief Image because I want a really deep engraving. I chose 6mm basswood, and the first pass I had it set at 25% power, 250 speed, and 180 lines per centimeter. However, it did not come out as deeply engraved as I had liked. So for the second pass, I chose 55% power, 150 speed, and 180 lines per centimeter. So you may have to play around with it to get it engraved as deep as you would like, but I had this put onto a miniature charcuterie board from Hobby Lobby, and I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I really hope you can see on screen the amount of detail and depth that this machine engraved this image. I just can't get over it. I'm so excited about the capabilities of this S1 machine. I wanted to create a project using some red acrylic, so I created a design in Canva and imported that into Creative Space to create a keychain. When you put in acrylic as your material, it does tell you it's extremely flammable, and I did notice that it was producing a lot of extra smoke, more so than the wood does. So you never want to leave your machine unattended when it is in operation. And always keep a fire extinguisher nearby, just in case. Now, it did cut it perfectly. The detail is amazing. I love how it turned out. And once I popped it out of the sheet, I did notice that it had a very thin film on there that I didn't see before. So I probably should have removed that beforehand, and that may have caused a little bit more of that extra smoke. But this is how it turned out. If you're interested in expanding your crafting tools or even starting a small business, this is the machine for you. I love all the things that it can do, and now is the time to buy it because xTool is having a Black Friday sale which lasts until December the 9th. So there are some huge savings, and you can check that out on their website. I'll have all these links in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have had so much fun playing around with this machine, and I can't wait to try out some different materials, and who knows, maybe even start selling some things online. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please take care, and I'll see you guys next time.